"Please, don't touch me," she whispered, her voice trembling like a leaf in the wind. Michael froze mid-step, the blanket still in his hands. He looked at her, eyes wide, scared, and brimming with a pain he didn't yet understand. "I won't," he said softly. "You can have the bed. I'll sleep right here." She didn't speak. She just nodded, stepping into his small apartment like someone entering a stranger's world. Because to her, he was a stranger. And all men were strangers, untrustworthy, dangerous, disappointing. But she had nowhere else to go. Her name was Emily. 28. Smart. Strong, yet broken in places she never showed the world. Michael had met her at the library where he often took his 6-year-old daughter, Lily, every Saturday. She'd been sitting alone by the window, staring at the rain. Her coat soaked. Her eyes emptier than any book on the shelves. Lily had wandered over and offered her a flower she made out of tissue paper. Emily had cried. They kept bumping into each other, first the library, then the cafe down the street, then again at the pharmacy. She never smiled much, but Lily liked her. And Michael noticed the tiredness in her eyes that no sleep could cure. So when he saw her sitting outside the closed library one night, her backpack beside her and her arms hugging her knees, he knew something was wrong. "Emily? Are you okay?" Her silence was the answer. Michael didn't ask too many questions. He didn't press her for details. He simply offered her warmth. A couch. A blanket. A home, even for a night. But as she stepped into his place, seeing the child's drawings on the fridge and the small bed in the corner, the walls inside her cracked just a little. "I don't trust men," she admitted. "That's okay," he replied. "You don't have to trust me. Just rest." That night, he made Lily a little bed in his room and gave Emily his. As he turned the lights off and lay down on the floor, he heard her whisper. "Can you just hold my hand?" He didn't speak. He just reached up, gently took her hand, and held it. No pressure. No expectations. Just warmth. Just presence. They stayed like that all night. The next morning, Emily was gone. The bed was neatly made. The blanket folded. On the kitchen counter, she'd left a note. "I'm sorry. I wasn't ready. Thank you for treating me like a person, not a problem. Emily." Michael felt an ache in his chest, disappointment, yes, but also a strange hope. He didn't expect her back. But she returned. 2 weeks later. With a job. A small rented room. And a hesitant smile. They became friends. Real friends. Michael never pushed. He never asked her to explain the scars on her wrist or why loud voices made her flinch. He didn't try to fix her. He simply stood by her, with patience that stretched further than the ocean. Emily began helping with Lily. She'd braid her hair. Read her bedtime stories. Teach her how to cook grilled cheese. And slowly, so slowly, she began to trust again. One evening, months later, Emily and Michael sat on the porch, watching Lily play with sidewalk chalk. "I used to think love meant pain," she said suddenly. "That a man's affection always came with fear. That kindness was a trick." Michael didn't interrupt. "But you showed me something different. You held my hand without asking for anything. You saw me, not just the broken parts." Tears welled in her eyes, and for the first time, she didn't look away. Michael reached over, not for her hand, but just to brush a strand of hair behind her ear. "Emily," he said gently, "you're not broken. You're healing." The story didn't end with a kiss. Not yet. Healing isn't linear. Trust doesn't appear overnight. But Emily knew something she hadn't before. Not all men were like the ones who hurt her. Some held your hand without needing anything in return. Some waited. Some stayed.